What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? This is gonna be your review for Love and Hip Hop New York, season 10, episode 7. It's the wedding episode, right? Safari and Erica, and it's real anticlimactic because they do this whole build up about whether they will or won't they get married. We know they got married, so let's just go on through it. The next day after the bachelorette party, Safari doesn't go home, Erica doesn't go home. Erica goes to Remy's house, Safari goes to his mother's house, and he ends up going over Yandy's house. And he's telling Yandy, this just not, this is not what I thought it was going to be. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of doing this. I don't feel the same way I felt when I proposed. And Yandy gave him some good stuff because, I guess he thought he was going to go over there and Yandy was going to tell him what he wanted to hear. And, woo, 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 woo. And Yandy was like, hold up. If you think that you about to spend the next 50 years of your life feeling like you felt the day you proposed to her, she was like, I got a rude awakening for you. She was like, that's not what it's about. But it is about figuring it out, sticking through it, talking, communicating. She was like, if you run now, think about what you're sacrificing. If you run from this now. And on the other side of town, we have Erica talking to Remy, basically saying the same thing. And Remy was like, yo, marriage isn't this. Marriage is a lot of this. And y'all gonna have to figure it out. And she, pretty much tells Erica the same thing that Yandy tells Safari. Like, look, y'all love each other, figure it out. Like, don't let this be it. Don't make a permanent decision off a temporary emotion, And, ultimately we know that they do. They ultimately decided they're gonna get married. They meet up. And they had, she got Safari a blinged out rosary with his uncle's picture in it. We remember a couple of seasons back, his uncle had been murdered, and so that was very emotional for him. And then he got her a signature bracelet. It was beautiful. I kind of want one of these. It was her father's signature, but made into a bracelet, and it looked like it might have been a rose gold band or whatever. And he said, because I want you to truly feel like your father was walking you down the aisle. And I just thought that was just, honestly, yeah, I really did. I thought that was beautiful. Like that, I was like, now that was beautiful. It looked like it was a gorgeous ceremony. I mean, those roses and the decorations, and Erica looked beautiful. It was a beautiful ceremony. Like, I can't talk about it. It was a beautiful ceremony. The only other little hiccup was we saw Sierra and what's my girl? Carly Red from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta show up. They were late. They weren't on the list. They couldn't get into the ceremony. And Sierra called herself. She was going, give it to Erica. And Erica was like, and Erica apologized. She said, it was a lot going on with the list. It might have been me, and I apologize. Now, Cardi admitted that she ain't RSVP. She was like, because she wasn't even mad. When they told her name wasn't on the list, she was like, all right, well, I'll just sit here and wait. And she said, if there's some extra seats, we'll get you guys in. But right now, you guys kind of have to wait out here. But Sierra was pissed because she was like, oh, I did RSVP. But Erica apologized because, they built it up like this was going to be a big breakdown with them and they was going to get into it or whatever. But Erica, she immediately was like, my bad. Like, I'm sorry, it's been a lot going on. And that could have really been a mistake on my part. She said, but you were late. Even with all of that, you were late. Like, had you been on time, we might have worked something out. So it was cool. It didn't turn into a big thing, but it did. It looked like it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Like, it's cool. Wishing them the best. Now, we had Kimbella and Jewels, he's in jail, and she was like, look, he gone, the bag gone. But he left a whole lot of music, and, we need to get this music out. So she's talking to him about getting his permission to release the music, and he was like, yeah, like, I think that's a great idea. So, Kimbella's going to work with his brother to get the music out there so they can bring some income in. And you know what? That's real. That's real talk. Now, I don't know what kind of money they were making or how the money was being made. Not my business. That's between the two of them. But that is realistic that now that he is in jail, the money is different. That's life. That's real. So, then we see Chrissy and Jim. Jim is back home. He's trying to get into the cannabis business. So they're talking about him smoking weed and he's got a medicinal and how he's trying to, because, he had the vape business. So he's trying to roll the vape into the cannabis, and they're in their new apartment, house, whatever. And she's talking to him about Jewels, and has he reached out to Jewels? And Jim was like, look, I got more love for Jewels than I can ever say, but I really haven't reached out to him because it's been a long time since I put pen to paper, and I don't really know how to express myself or what to say to him. I know I'm waiting for him to get home, and I got we gonna make it happen when he get back. That's some straight dude stuff, you know what I'm saying? But we end up seeing Chrissy, Kimbella, and Juju meet up, and Chrissy, Kimbella was saying how they're trying to get the music out, and she was saying how a lot of people, from the industry really have not reached out to him the way that she thought they would, or that she sort of expected them to. And Chrissy ends up giving her money, which, again, she said that's from Jim. He doesn't really, know how to convey the words to say what he wants to say, but this is from him. I'm not saying that y'all are having money problems, but, money can't ever hurt. Money's never a bad thing. And so we have that situation going down. Then the only other thing I think I forgot to mention, because, again, they spent a lot of time on the wedding, and I'm not about to go through every little nook and cranny that happened, and the decorations and the vows and all that. It was a wedding. We did have a little moment where we saw Jonathan was Yandy's plus one, and we did see that Joe was there with he wasn't with her, but old girl was there, Tori, and she was saying, I don't even want nobody to see me with you. I don't want nobody spinning the narrative that something's going on with us or whatever. And then when Jonathan showed up, she made a little slick comment at Jonathan about him being a wedding crasher, and Jonathan saying, well, what are you doing here? And basically Jonathan inserting himself in a situation that don't have nothing to do with him. You have nothing to do with whether Tahiri, that's her name, whether Tahiri and Joe are doing anything. I know Sin is your friend, but that is really their situation. Sin, Joe, Tahiri, that is the three of them. That is their situation. Now, word on the curb is that Joe and Sin are still together, but I ain't even gonna say nothing. That ain't my business. But it is what it is. So that's pretty much it. This is a short review because, again, 80% of the episode was the wedding. So that's what you got. Let me know what y'all think. Drop it in them comments. Peace.